He's all over the show.
And not even booked.
Pod deck. Oh, big jelly. Good Jibo morning, mother flounders. It is I, your host of the show, the one, the only, the Jibo. I'm joined with my undersea friends, all one of them, die jellyfish.
Hello, I like to swim in the ocean blue.
He likes to swim in the ocean blue. It's just us today. It's just Jibo and Die Jellyfish. Retribution. There's got to be a better version.
The Titan toe liners.
Real tribution.
Real tribute. That's not bad.
Retribution.
Retribution. Like that.
Yeah, Shangler, obviously unreliable. Mansoor, obviously dead. Damo,
possibly having sex.
Congratulations, by the way. I think you deserve it. You don't deserve it. You don't deserve it for 1 second, not a second in your life.
Who, me?
No.
Oh, Manny?
Mansoorfish?
Mansoorfish?
No, he doesn't put in the work.
Well, puts in something.
He doesn't put in the work to get the work.
Where the hell is my remote? How did I lose it?
So it's just us. Just us. That was almost our name too.
Just us.
Just us. All brought here together to talk about the news of the week, but when it's just us, we'll probably talk about nothing for about 45 minutes. So, Die Jellyfish, tell us about your week.
Oh man, my week was fucking horrible.
Had a week. Gosh dang.
This is I don't know if it's the worst week of my life, but it's probably the most emotionally difficult. No, maybe not even that. It was probably it was a difficult week. I'm trying to rank it, but I've actually had
I'm trying to think of the worst week of my life.
Yeah, I mean, probably like deaths. It's usually a good indicator.
No, I mean, like, I've had people pass, but I haven't had that many. Like, nothing like week ruining.
I mean, my grandparents, my mom's parents lived in the town I was born in, so it was right next to my hometown. I was born in Leominster, Massachusetts.
Leominster.
And I lived in Lunenburg, Massachusetts, right on the Leominster border. So we were like a good 6-7 minutes from my grandparents, my mom's parents. And they were a little older. My parents were a little older too. So they died when I was 12, but for most of my childhood up until I was 12, they played a huge part in raising me. Like I would go over their house pretty much every day. Like I didn't go to daycare or have a babysitter because I would just go to my grandparents' house instead. So it was they very much it was pretty much like I had four
second parents. Yeah
second parents. So when they passed, that was pretty difficult, especially for a fucking 12-year-old, So
yeah. I'm trying to think. I don't remember being very old when my only grandfather or grandparent that I knew that passed was my mom's dad.
God, that's so weird that you just said that, because my grandfather that I was just talking about, I called him Nunu. That was his name.
Whoa.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah, that is weird. That's not a normal grandparent name, so it is.
No, it's also not a normal thing for a human being to say in
I know. It's a sign. It's a sign. Jalen, are you on the phone with Mom? How old was I when Papa died? You were 7, so I was 10. Okay, I was 10.
All right.
Yeah, so I probably didn't process emotions enough to have the worst week ever from that.
Yeah.
I had the worst day ever.
Oh.
Was when what? Oh, I might have been 9, so even less.
Yeah.
What? Oh, I think I consider you like my equal sister. I forget. No, I was 12. I can't count.
What?
I'm 6 years older than my sister. I'm 3 years older than my brother. I forgot which one I was talking to.
6 is a lot.
Yeah. We're all 3 years apart.
So 3 isn't bad.
Yeah, six would be bad if we were all 6 years apart.
Right. I would almost expect you to be closer to your brother than your sister, but it seems like you're closer with your sister than your brother. Maybe you just have more things in common.
Yeah, we have more in common. I mean, she also lives with me.
Well, yeah, right.
That helps. My
like
brother has a job and
right
stuff to do.
Right. Six
Who is it?
Such a dramatic.
Shane,
the New World Order.
Shane Murfish running.
What's going on?
Are you at a bar right now?
No, he's on the plane. No, he's
could
not.
be.
Right.
I could be.
What are you?
Somewhere. I'm at the underwater inn.
Bin?
I'm at the idle ocean.
I don't get the pun.
Sipping on a Moscow mulefish.
He's drunk. Shocking. Imagine my shock.
It's midday Saturday. Hell wouldn't they? No, I'm good.
A presence I've not felt since.
I'm good. I'm running on 3 hours sleep, baby. We're all good.
Shanglerfish, tell us about your week. You had something happen this week.
Wow.
The man with no name made his SmackDown Dark. What do you call it?
Dark Main
debut.
Main.
What is it? You should keep that, especially if you have a cowboy hat.
I won the. It's not a cowboy hat. It's a Kubra.
So it's a cowboy hat.
No, cowboy hats tilt up at the sides. It's an Australian thing, and we don't have cowboys in Australia.
So what you're saying is it's a brimmed brown hat that white people wear?
Yeah.
So it's a cowboy hat.
It's got crocodile teeth on it though. Would you say Crocodile Dundee's a cowboy?
Yes, an Australian cowboy.
Well then, yes, I guess it's a cowboy hat.
There's very little. There's a reason why Australians sing country music. Like it's the same thing.
Yeah. We think it's all fiction though.
Yeah, because you guys didn't make it to the freedom. You guys were all prison colonists.
That's it. It's a nice prison though.
It was a nice prison that you stole.
Shinglerfish, wherever you are, you must be with your close personal girlfriend, right?
Yeah, I'm here with Kimberly Hiddleman.
No, you need a fish name.
What?
Did you just dox her on stream?
Yeah, that was. Well,
are you guys out?
How can I dox her?
Because you guys had a secret relationship for the longest time.
Her literal.
What? Hello.
Hello.
I can't hear anything. Are you hearing anything?
I'm barely hearing.
Kimmy.
What kind of point?
You can't hear you.
What kind of party is this?
What?
Oh God.
What?
Yeah. It's not doxing her. Her literal employment is being on YouTube.
Yeah, but
Oh my
Oh
god,
my
you gotta turn that
gosh.
off.
Who's on?
Stop.
Who's here? What's going on?
It's
Hey, did you guys see this? Did you hear about this?
Go to the bathroom.
tell us about it. Yeah, go into the bathroom.
So I'm at the airport, right? And I'm going through security, and this old dude goes through, and for like 10 minutes, they're like, everything out of your pockets, everything out of your pockets. He goes through, and they're like, do you have something in your pocket? And he's like, what do you mean? Like, the thing's going off. And he's like, just my wallet. And they're like, that's something in your pocket. I'm like, fuck you. It's like, I don't care if you're old. Everything out of your pockets has been around for centuries. The Wright brothers, right? Before the first ever flight,
With
you know what
nothing
was
in their pockets?
Fucking nothing. All right, bye.
Bye.
Bye. Classic Shanglerfish.
Classic.
I feel like it's better that Shane never is supposed to be here and just shows up drunk.
That is better.
It's better that way. It's his
It's a good little cameo.
He's the
Not to be confused with the app cameo.
Oh, we can't say that here.
Well, you can say it, you just can't do it.
Shanglerfish is like our Kramer.
I can say the word Twitch all I want, I just can't stream on it.
Oh yeah, you're right. So back to the worst days of our lives.
These are the worst days of our lives.
These are aside from Mondays. The worst day of my life up to a point was probably when we thought Colby was having seizures.
You know what? That's a good segue into my week.
Yeah, no, exactly. So I very much vibe with your worst day of your life because we hooked her up to like an EKG thing, and it was all scary, and she was a baby, and I just remember like we got home and Sierra took her in, and we didn't have an answer yet. Like we just did the test and we didn't find out anything yet, and they were going to tell us later. And I just like sat in my car and like cried like a big old baby for like a half hour and had to call my dad. That was a bad day.
That is a bad day.
Turns out she was fine. Turns out that she was rolling her eyes for attention. Go figure.
Classic.
Classic Womeme. But go ahead, tell us about your worst week.
So on give me 1 second. I'm really bad at multitasking. I'm trying to log into ESPN app so I can watch UFC Fight Night at the same time as doing this. Oh my god, what is my password?
UFC Fight Night? Who's fighting? Oh, that's not on the docket. Freaking Conor McGregor, his broken leg. That should be on the docket.
I did watch that. What is my password? All right, I'll try to.
You love a good human bludgeoning.
I do, as much as I think it should be completely outlawed and banned. And
absolutely.
Not a real thing. I do watch just for the sake of. Oh, good, I figured it out. All right, so now it's on in the background for me. So on Monday, I guess. Yeah, I guess it was Monday.
It was the day before Ashley's birthday, right?
No, no, it started the day before that.
Jeez Louise.
So on Monday, completely normal day. Play date in the morning with one of my buddies and his kids. My daughter Amelia is 11 months old. Her 1 year birthday is in 10 days. So she's a little baby, and she had a good morning. Everything was fine. A little fussy eating her food, which is a little kind of unnormal for her. But all in all, just fine. You know, a little fussy, whatever. Put her down for her 12:45 nap, and she woke up I went upstairs to wake her up, and as I usually do, and I went in, and I turned on the light, and she woke up, and she looked at me, and like 99.9% of the time when I wake this baby up or walk into the room or anything like that, she has a huge smile on her face, and she starts like laughing and waving her arms and standing up because she's happy to see me. And this time, unfortunately, she was just staring at me blankly, like staring through me, and her face looked very sad, and her arm was shaking, which we found out later uh, very possibly was a kind of a benign seizure, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
So like
yeah.
I think it's like a result of the massively high temperature that she had. Anyway, so she started kind of. I was looking at her, so I picked her up, and I was like, "What's wrong, sweetheart? What's going on?" And then she started like kind of dry heaving, so I knew she was going to throw up. So I brought her to the bathroom. She threw up in the tub. I called my wife. She came running upstairs. We're trying to figure out what's wrong. She's really hot, so we took her temperature. She had 104-degree temperature. So for a baby, anything above 100.4 is a temperature. So she was well above that.
Uh-huh.
So we weren't sure what to do. My son is downstairs. We called her parents. I'll try not to get into all of the details of this, but basically, my wife drove her to the hospital. She threw up again in the car, so she started freaking out. She called an ambulance. The ambulance checked her out. We brought her to the hospital. I met her at the hospital. The hospital was kind of shitty.
As
No,
they are.
Yeah, I mean, like they did a good job, like accepting her and doing tests and stuff. But there were some people who should have, you know, there were some employees of the hospital who could have been a little more understanding of the situation. Let's put it that way.
Right.
So they ran a bunch of tests. It was horrible. You know, taking blood from a baby is not easy. You basically have to. I had to basically pin her down, and she's crying and screaming, and they're, trying to find a vein, and her veins are tiny as hell. So they're
not vascular at all.
No, they're
Wouldn't
stabbing
put the belt
the shit
on
out of her. No, so she's crying and screaming, and this is just the times that I'm pinning her down. The rest of the time, she's also miserable because she's sick, and nobody knows what's wrong. You know, you're running all these tests, you're trying to figure out what's wrong. So basically, that night they determined that that it wasn't anything particularly serious, and it was probably a viral infection. So we were like, okay. So we took her home. She had a pretty good night. Woke up the next morning, was pretty okay the next morning. So I left to I think I've mentioned before on this podcast that I'm having micropigmentation procedures done. So I got halfway through that when I got a call from my wife, and now she has 105-degree temperature. So I literally get up and leave the chair. So as we speak currently, half of my head is darkly micropigmented.
You've got half of a tattoo on your head.
That's kind of in hindsight, the funny part of all this. But yeah, so I drove and we met her. We had to bring her to a more serious hospital this time that had a pediatric unit. They ran more tests. It was an even longer day, more pinning her down, more crying, more blood, more screaming, all of that. Pretty much the same result, where they ruled out most serious things, and we kind of determined that it's probably a viral infection. Still to this moment, we don't have a conclusive answer as to what it is, but my wife Googled something and found out what it probably is, which is a viral infection. I can't remember what it's called, but it's something that gives you a really high temperature. It's usually in babies her age. All the symptoms are the same. And yesterday, after the fever had finally broke for like 24, 48 hours, she started getting like a rash, which is like, and it wasn't that bad, but it was just another indicator that she probably has what this viral infection was. So
Does it say how you get that?
Yeah, it's typically like saliva, like mouth to mouth. So I mean, it could be anything. It could be a toy that she put in her mouth. It could be another baby breathing on her or something. You know, she's been around other people, and it's not just babies. You know, babies get it, but like adults can carry it. So it could have been me. It could have been anything. You know,
Right.
so I have no idea.
But most importantly, she's doing better now.
She's much better. Yeah, her fever has.
Which is why we are able to talk about this horrible, horrific situation as silly cartoon sea creatures.
Correct. Correct. Yeah. So it's been about 48 hours now without medicine, and her fever stayed down the entire time. So the only symptom she's had over the past 48 hours is that rash, which we determined is probably an indicator that it's going away, and the rash is gone now too. So fingers crossed we're completely devoid of this situation. And thankfully, you know, I'm thanking my lucky stars. You know, sometimes you get lucky, sometimes you don't. But situationally speaking, we're very lucky that this happened this week of all weeks, because as I said, it was Monday that this took place. So
right.
This would have been a much.
This was
different.
the first Monday that we weren't actually, or you weren't actually out of town.
Correct.
In a while, yeah. So
yeah,
it
and
would have been much worse.
Yeah, in the past 2 Mondays, I've been out of town for the entire week, so that would have been horrible had this happened last week or the week before. But thankfully, it didn't. I mean, I wish it never happened at all. And you know, for all I know, if I wasn't here, she wouldn't have got it. So I have no idea. But you know, it's in a sense good timing.
It's probably best to blame you.
That's the easiest way. Yeah, I don't mind not blame.
Well, that's the end of the worst week ever, and we're getting ready to go into the best week ever, because we're going back on the road, baby. The boys are back in town. The boys are back in town. Well, I'm getting on. You get on a plane every week. I'm getting on a plane this week, and we're going to my old stomping grounds, Texas.
There's a rumor. There's a rumor that everything is bigger there.
I've been there, and I can confirm that I was indeed bigger there.
Oh, good. That's well, fair enough.
Yes. Since then, I have shrunk. No, I'm excited. I've been stressing about it all week because I forgot how to ride the plane. It's been like a year and a half, it must be. And I was like, I had when I was doing commentary, I had travel down to a science. Like I just had all my stuff ready. It was like not something that I really needed to prepare for. But like this time I was like, oh, I need to make sure I have everything. Because if I don't have everything, then I'm screwed. But my boxes are my bags are prepared. And what time do you get in tomorrow?
What time do I get in? 6:15, I think. I mean, every flight gets delayed, but in this particular instance, I expect my flight to be completely on time and for you guys to get delayed.
Nah.
Just because. No, that's what's going to happen, because that will result in me sitting there by myself for longer.
Yeah.
Which is exactly what I envision happening.
Are you handling the car?
No, I can't.
No, you can't. You can't. We need to get the car. Yeah. I'm going to make Manny get the car because I don't want to have to talk to anybody.
Do you only have one? You should each have one, right?
We both have one, but I don't want the car. I'm just going to make Manny drive.
We'll get both of them, and then I'll have one. Because I have like things to do, and I'll return in the morning. It'll be fine.
Oh.
Because I have a different flight than you anyway.
I hate it doesn't car.
You don't need one. you can just give it to me.
Yeah, no, you're right. It was way better
And
on
then-
commentary because they would pay for your Ubers.
Right.
So I just Ubered everywhere. Those were the days. Those were the days. You want to get to this docket?
So sorry, hang on. I'm talking to my wife.
Oh,
I'm on mute.
You're his wife. He's on mute. Hello, everybody. It's me, Jibo. This is a solo stream until Dijak is finished talking to his wife. So, I'd like to remind you that all of the proceeds from this month go to the Level 82 charity that goes to help inner city youth in Baltimore. It goes to a good cause. And if you would like to donate $15 right now, I'll sing any song you want. And we'll be $15 closer to our goal. Also, we are almost YouTube partners. We're almost there. And you can help me by subscribing if you haven't already.
All right, I'm back.
Oh, he's back. Okay.
Docket.
Docket. Hold on, let's go back to the podcast. Pew!
Were we not on the podcast?
No, I went to my solo stage.
I don't know what that means.
Except for aren't you watching the product?
No, I told you I changed it to UFC.
Oh my gosh, my views.
Sorry, I was logged in. So
Oh my Lanta.
Does that count if I turned it on for 5 minutes?
No.
No.
It doesn't matter. Oh, but what I was saying that if you want to help us get YouTube partner, go check out some of the old streams. If you missed one, go check it out. If there's a playlist, go check it out. All hours count. All hours matter. What's so funny, Dijak? Jellyfish?
I laughed because you made a serious thing into a funny thing, and I thought it was cancelable, but then I realized that you're the serious thing, so it's not. So you're allowed.
Yes, I am too powerful to cancel.
Yeah. If I said that, I'd die. Someone would come, cancel me like in person.
That's my joke to make. I'm allowed to be funny.
You are allowed to use that.
You're not allowed to be funny. Your time to be funny is up.
Correct. My
Let me
time is
open
up.
it.
Your time is now.
My time is now. Did I ever tell you? My high school buddies, they have this thing where they get me really obnoxious gifts.
Okay.
Not because they love me as a friend. It's usually something to inconvenience me.
Okay.
So they got me this giant clock when I got drafted.
Gift.
Yeah,
I'm
gift.
sorry. I thought you said GIF, like an animated GIF.
Oh no, you're spending too much time on the internet.
Yeah, I think so.
So they got me this giant clock and had it sent to my apartment in Houston, which I spent the next several years having to move around. But their reasoning was that the time was up for whoever was in front of me on the football team, and that my time was now.
Yes. Well done.
Yes. They showed
Outstanding.
me. I then proceeded to go out and tear my knee.
Well done. What did that happen on? I never asked you. Was it one specific thing, or was it?
Get this. Ready?
Oh boy.
Is
it as stupid as my knee tear?
In a way, stupider.
Okay, cool.
Because at least you did it.
Fair. Oh man, it was someone else's fault. That's
I
horrible.
tore my knee up because in one of the first practices, somebody from another drill got driven across into our spot and
Oh my
clipped
God.
me from the back.
That is so obnoxious.
And then the Texans wasted a bunch of money because I never
What a
got better.
absolute piece of shit. Do you know who it was, or did it just kind of happen and you never found
I don't
out?
remember.
It's
And
probably
it wasn't
probably for the
something.
best.
Yeah, it wasn't something that like it wasn't like
It's probably like fucking JJ Watt, and he's a
classic.
bazillionaire now, and
He's winning.
you have to tag team with me.
I have to tag team with bootleg JJ Watt.
Is that me?
Yeah.
Do I qualify?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm even bootleg.
Caucasoid. No, you're bootleg
It's like-
Gronk.
Yeah.
Gronk.
I don't even think I'm bootleg Gronk.
You're bootleg Gronk.
No. If I made it to like the NFL and I really sucked, then I would probably be bootleg Gronk. I never made it past Division I AA. I don't think that's bootleg. I think that's like not even in the realm of...
That's homemade.
Right.
That's homemade Gronk.
It's like arts and crafts Gronk.
That's you're driving past Gronk and then you say, "Hey mom, can we have some Gronk?" And then she's like, "We have Gronk at home."
Yeah, pretty much.
But it wasn't when I got rolled up. It wasn't. Oh, good night, my child, who I was just talking about.
Oh.
It wasn't an injury that like happened in like I didn't hear like a pop or anything. It was like whatever it was like the last straw for my cartilage, and there was no. It was just like that was the that scooped out the last bit of ice cream.
So it was fading, and that's what did it.
Yeah.
Did they know that you had bad cartilage when you got drafted?
Yeah, because I had already had my first microfracture at that point. It was all in like my senior year too. Like it was in between my junior and senior year that I had the microfracture, and then I tore my shoulder my senior year. So like all of my surgeries were concentrated in the period between my senior year and when I was done playing football.
Yeah.
It wasn't meant to be. I was meant to be a underwear fighting clown.
Well done, you are.
Thank you, God, for showing me to my calling. So this docket. I almost opened it for a second. Podcast docket.
What's on it? My dogs are fighting next to me, if you can hear.
My dogs are barking.
All right.
That's what UFC stands for, is underwear fighting clowns.
How did they turned the TV off? I hate these dogs. Get out of here.
They're evolving.
All right, what's on the... I can't see the docket, so you gotta tell me.
You seen this? You heard about this? That lady
No.
who completely demolished the Tour de France by smacking somebody with a sign?
Oh my God, yes, I did see that.
That was awesome.
Okay, so if I'm her, obviously, or like one of the riders that, got destroyed, am I mad? Or like, yeah, I guess I'm probably mad.
If you're her, why would you be mad if you're her?
Well, I think she's in prison probably, or in jail.
No, she was like an international fugitive, and I think they just identified her.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So she got away somehow?
I think she escaped.
That's impressive. Anyway, like these are the kind of moments where it's like, all right, so like literally I wouldn't even have known.
Oh, she turned herself in. Good for her.
Oh, good. Like I wouldn't even have known that the Tour de France was even happening, much less watched a moment of it.
Yeah, that's true.
Like,
she got it over.
So right, that's what I'm saying. So like, if I'm one of the guys who crashed in that, now there's a possibility for some marketing out of this. There's people have seen
I'd
my
watch a
face. They feel bad
silly
for me.
MasterCard commercial about some lady
Sure,
hitting everybody
whatever.
with a sign and making a pile up.
Yeah. So
Or here's my pitch. Here's my pitch. Remember those commercials? Imagine the scene. The scene is set. This woman holding a sign at the Tour de France. She holds out her sign as her favorite biker begins to pass her on the street, and then she hits him in the head by accident, causing a massive pileup that makes her an international fugitive. She turns to the camera, and then the narrator says, "Want to get away?"
Want to get away? So, Southwest, yeah, that's good.
That's free, Southwest. That's free.
Yeah, take it.
Yeah, if everybody fell, then it was fair. It's a fair race. In fact, here's my hot take. Ready? Ready for my hot take? I think there should be more obstacles at the Tour de France. That would make it more interesting.
Sure.
I think you should have to pass through like the valley of women with signs, jump over a spike pit, maybe swing on some vines, go into a Donkey Kong barrel. I'd watch that.
Pitfall.
Yeah, make it Mario Kart. Give everybody weapons.
Yeah. All right. Now I'm watching. Now
I'm hooked.
Mm-hmm.
I'm hooked. Well, she turned herself in. I'm sure there will be a fine or something. I don't know. What are they gonna do to her?
Right. You don't like throw someone in prison for like trying to get on TV or whatever.
As an accident. I don't even think it was on purpose.
Get this menace to society off the streets. literally off the streets.
Meanwhile, there's like a drug dealer right outside the courthouse, like shooting heroin into a child.
Right. Jesus.
That's just the worst thing I could think of. So
that is pretty bad. Yeah.
That's up there for bad.
Yeah, you're not a good person if you're shooting heroin into a child.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's probably some medicinal. Isn't there like a type of heroin that's like
medicinal heroin?
You
know what, jellyfish? This is the slippery slope that the people are talking about. You start with the medicinal marijuana, and then all of a sudden you're asking for medicinal heroin shot into babies' veins for their benefits.
Weren't we talking about like someone tested positive for heroin? Is it poppy seeds or what is it?
Poppy seeds will make you test positive for opioids.
Is that heroin? Is heroin an opioid?
I think. Yeah. Yeah, black tar heroin. That's an opioid, right?
So like, it's like if.
So it's good on your bagels, but not in your veins.
I get in my veins.
In my veins.
I don't know why that bothers me.
Have we? Oh, we've never talked about this on the podcast, have we?
Well, I don't think we're supposed to. We're not supposed to talk about.
We can talk about the concept of a wrestler that exists on television. Not that we know him or anything.
Right. So
chat. What does it say on Randy Orton's Titantron?
If you happen to turn into the World Whaling Federation at any point, there's a performer named Randy Orr.
Clamdy Orr.
And his Tron just says "in my veins."
In my veins.
So I assume that's like the name of the song,
which is not.
Fine. It's not. What is it?
Oh, somebody said Clam D. Orton.
Clam D. Orton. Yeah.
That sounds like a One Piece character.
I don't know why it bothers me so much because he has like so many different sayings and catchphrases and names.
Because the name of his song is Voices.
Okay. And then like there's his name. He's also RKO. He's also the Legend
Killer. Legend Killer. The Viper.
The Viper. But there's so many different things. And then it just says "in my veins,"
which isn't even an expression.
Right. Like
Venom in my veins is not an expression.
No, it's not. I think that's what it's alluding to.
Ice in my veins is an expression, but that has nothing to do with the snake.
It's just so weird that that's like arguably the biggest star in the company right now, and it's like Just
In
the
my
biggest
veins.
first thing and only thing you see as he's walking out is in my veins.
But nobody questions it.
No one quite, because it's been there for so long that you're just like, oh, that's what it says.
Yeah.
But I remember because we were in the
Yeah, it's not even a verse in the song.
It's never said in the song.
It's not. I hear voices in my head. I've got venom inside my veins, inside my veins.
Like if it said in my head, that would make more sense.
I hear,
like the third...
yeah, in my head would be fine.
It'd be completely fine because you'd be like, oh, that's the 6th, 7th, and 8th words in the song. I get this completely. But it literally feels like someone was just like, what's he kind of about? What's his feel? What's his? Let's put half of that on the truck.
And I think the only reason I noticed it is because he walks so slowly to the ring.
He does.
So it's like one of the only people who you could really just like, oh, what else is going on here?
Yeah,
in my veins.
In the rest of yeah. Because that's what we would do. We would go up in the cheap seats and just watch the entire show by ourselves, like literally in an empty arena, which is so weird but fun at the same time.
It's the best. It's like it feels like being a Roman emperor.
Yeah, kind of sad that we'll never get that really ever again, probably.
Ah, yeah, you're right.
But
unless we go sit in the crowd like commoners.
No,
like
that's not the same. That's not the same at all.
That would be worse.
That's way worse.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch it on TV.
Yeah.
But yeah, we would just sit there and you're just like staring at the Tron and waiting for the explosions and whatever.
Covering your ears like a little poo baby. Oh, there comes the pyro. Oh, that was so loud.
At first, people would cover their ears and I'd be like, you guys are pussies. It's not. And then after like 6 weeks, I was like, yeah, I got to start covering my ears. This shit hurts.
No, I refuse to cover my ears for the fact that
I've noticed
a good 2 years, or not 2 years, 2 months, dodging fireworks when I was doing commentary. So I was like, nope, this ain't it. This firework that isn't far away is not it.
Just loud.
Jellyfish, you're a Star Wars fan, aren't you?
I am. I'm not. When I was a kid,
you're not Shangler fan.
Yeah. So when I was a kid, like I was like at the front of the pack in terms of Star Wars fans. Like I had like the collector's set, and I watched the movie like 50 times, and But then, like as I got older, like more shit started coming out, and it got to the point where they had like tons of books, and now there's like a million different games and series and shows, and I don't keep up with all that. Like
you're probably like in the weird sweet spot where you were alive for the original movies, right? Were you?
No,
not one of them.
No, Jedi was 83. I was born 87.
Dang, that's crazy. Never mind then.
But I was alive for the special editions. That was a big part of my childhood.
Okay.
Yeah, because
I remember, like I had to go out of my way to see the first Star Wars because we didn't have a Disney Plus, like the
first meaning 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, 4, 5, and 6.
Okay.
But I did see the prequels in theaters. Like that was my Star Wars.
You saw the prequels in theaters? What year are you born?
91.
Oh yeah, I guess so. Yeah, you were 8, right?
Yeah, like I was. That's prime Star Wars age. I don't know that I might have even seen the prequels first.
Why do you feel so much younger than me when you're not that much younger than me?
Because I have a younger personality.
Fair enough.
I have youthful optimism, maybe.
Yeah. Idiot.
Stupid. What is the name of Boba Fett's ship?
Am I allowed to say this?
I'm asking because it's not that anymore because Boba Fett was canceled.
Yeah.
What is I don't get it.
What's
Why?
well, the
You
name
can,
of the ship is Slave One, which
whoa.
to be fair, I don't,
A
I'm not
slave is a thing.
right. Like it's just a word, right?
It's
It
not a
doesn't.
good thing, but
It's
it's
not
a
like
word.
right. It's not like
It's not the N word one.
it's not right. It's not like he had slaves.
Hey, MLC donated $25.
Goal met.
Thank you. We met the goal.
Technically, like, thank you. Technically, like an inanimate object can be your slave, right? No one cares about
Anything
that.
can be your slave.
It's like the ship is his slave. It does his bidding. It's his. I don't know. What's
Why is it called Slave One? Does he? I mean, he's not a slaver. He's a bounty hunter, right?
I have no idea why it's called Slave One. I honestly never even thought about it.
It's. I just feel like it's not called the N word one.
Right.
Like if it was called the murder one, would that be okay?
Probably. People are really okay with like
People
the concept
love
of death and killing.
Yeah, people. It's so funny how much, like in America specifically, we're so fine with like really bad murders,
Yeah.
but then like we're like,
No, like to the point where like most people like fantasize them.
yeah, yeah. Like I think the rating in a film has to go up more for sex than for like violence.
Oh, it definitely does. Which I when I was younger, that blew my mind. I was like, what on like why do we make sex, which is like a natural thing that, you know,
A natural
literally
thing that none of our audience does.
literally every single human being on this planet is here because of sex. So it's like
Yeah, why'd you make me think about it?
right. So it's like, what are we doing? Why are we vilifying this? Like the most common thing, but like hitting someone or killing someone, which is like widely accepted as like the worst thing.
And to be fair, that is also widely considered to be the first thing.
Right. Right.
No, that's not true. Sex came first. They had to have sex in the garden to have the kids that had the murder.
Yeah, but now that I'm older, I do kind of see the point, because sex and sexual acts can have pretty significant and lasting consequences on younger minds.
But killing doesn't?
Honestly, probably not as bad. Yes, when I was a kid, I there's a couple of times when I was like 7 or 8, I remember I'd see like a death, even in like a cartoon, and it would like stick with me. Like I remember for whatever reason, like Beavis and Butthead Do America was on TV, and I don't remember how old I was when that came out, maybe like 9 or 10 or something like that. And I've never seen the movie since or before, and I only remember this one clip because I was flipping through the channels. But like a dam broke, and there was a guy standing, and he like the water like enveloped him, and the insinuation was that he died. And I remember as a child watching that and being like, "Oh my god, that guy died." Like I had no concept of like humor, and this is like funny, and it's a cartoon, it doesn't matter. So like for whatever reason, like that stuck in my mind, and it, so like death can't. But like that being said, if I saw sex at that age, that would probably mess
That would
me
have
up.
blown your mind.
Yeah, that probably would have messed me up to a certain extent, I think.
But have you not been a child using a finger gun and shooting at your friends?
Yeah, no, of course, yeah. That being
it
said,
would be
like,
weirder if you were a child using a finger gun and hewing at your friends.
hewing, what does that mean?
If the opposite.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, that'd be worse.
Yeah. Yeah, they sell Nerf guns. They don't sell Nerf sex toys.
Right. It's just, yeah.
Not that
I
I'm
do
advocating
think,
for it. It's just an interesting thought experience.
yeah.
Experiment.
Honestly, there's an argument to be made kind of for both sides. Realistically speaking, you should probably have these kind of discussions with your children, which I'm sure 90% of parents don't.
Do not.
So as parents, you should discuss this with all of these things with your children before you expose them to it visually. Then you should probably have a discussion about like film and television, how it's fake and how it's done and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, you can even go as far as to say that like violence, that's our job is portraying violence. So and that's for children,
Our
it's
job
literally
is portraying sport for
is what
entertainment.
is what sorry, you cut out for a second.
Our job is to portray sport for
Right.
entertainment.
Right. Well, it's still violence. I'm
The
watching
oldest-
UFC right now. That's an actual sport. It's
Yeah.
there's a lot of violence.
That
I wouldn't
ain't
let
it.
my kids. I wouldn't let my kids watch UFC. Even though it's a sport.
You see this?
I'll probably let them. Yeah, go ahead.
The Clifford movie. They're making a Clifford movie.
Didn't we discuss this already?
Did we?
I think so.
If we did, probably. But they did add this to the docket because there is a weird clip in the trailer where Clifford the dog eats somebody, which
Jesus.
which is a fetish. So I wanted to ask Dijak, are you into vore?
Please, die jellyfish.
Jellyfish, are you into vore?
Vore, is that
Yeah.
the act of romanticizing a dog eating you?
Not a dog. Anything will do. Like, for example, right now, in the position we are on this podcast, I am big enough to vore you. And some people are into that.
Yeah. No. To answer your question, no, I'm not into that.
Okay, so I should not consensually vore you.
Yeah, I mean, you can. It just won't do anything for me.
Okay. As long I don't want to do it if you're not gonna be into it. Sorry.
No. No. No, that's very unique. That doesn't.
Yeah, on the
Like I'm not into feet stuff, but I
was
can
just about to
understand.
say. I was about to say I can understand feet.
I do. I really do understand feet, and maybe it's different for me. But like, occasionally, like, I'll see feet, and
That's a nice foot.
well, no, it's not even that. Like the way my brain processes it is like I'll see feet, and I'll say, "Oh,
Somebody's
everyone's
into that.
No, not even that. My brain says like this is potentially attractive because I'm seeing feet and everyone's feet kind of look the same. So in a sense,
nah,
it's
man
kind
feet
of
look
like
man's feet.
it's kind of like unifying like humans as a does this kind of make sense?
Yeah, we're all unified in that we all have feet.
Yeah, and they all pretty much look similar. Like no one has like an especially like beautiful foot, you know.
I don't know. Quentin Tarantino would disagree.
Well, like you can have ugly feet, obviously, but like for the most part, most feet look pretty much the same. Whether you're like a very attractive person or me. So...
Why did you say a very attractive person twice?
Oh, thank you, King.
No problem, King. We have to support each other. No one else will.
So that's kind of my take, but I assume people who have actual foot fetishes, probably.
Any foot chads in the chat, type F, just so I can know. Type F for feet.
Get the F out.
So I believe it was Freud who said that the foot fetish stems from the idea, right, It's
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's a concept called the missing phallus.
Oh boy.
So as a boy, you see your mother as yourself in that you assume that she has a phallus, right?
I
And
don't recall ever thinking that, but
no, it's subconscious. You wouldn't remember this thought.
oh, all right.
Yeah, you wouldn't remember this. This is like when you're a baby and you're in your forming mind, right?
Got it.
So, the what Freud believes is that the moment that you see your mother without a phallus, it splits off your psyche. Like it just breaks your psyche because you're like, where's the pee pee? I don't know. Where is pee pee? Right?
Hmm.
And he believes that um, in the case of a foot fetish,
Sure.
your attention and the sexual energy, the libido of where you thought your mother's penis was is directed somewhere else. Now it's common for that to be like legs or breast or butt, but sometimes that falls into
Oh,
the foot.
interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what Freud says. Now I'm no psychologist, but I did play Persona. So
Is that a video game?
that is a video game that is
Uh,
vaguely about psychology.
fair enough.
Okay, we're done talking about feet.
Darn.
I don't know what missing phallus makes you want to be eaten, but I imagine it's part of
Good one.
the same corruption that makes you want to be like stepped on by like a giant woman. Like something completely unrealistic, something that couldn't happen, probably created by the media. I don't know. I don't know. That's a big brainatorium topic. I don't know.
Probably.
You seen this? You heard about this? Robin Hood is back in the news.
Again?
Yeah. FINRA announces a $70 million penalty against Robinhood over options trading practices and outages. So basically,
How many? 70 million?
$70 million.
That can't be that much for them. They've
That does
got
not feel like a lot.
Yeah, they gotta have billions.
And not only that, like I kind of get the sense that when they like pulled the plug on it, like I imagine Wall Street was like, "Hey, I'm gonna need you to fall on this sword for us real quick, so we don't get all our money taken away. But we'll make sure you and your business is okay." You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, $70 million is nothing for like
Wait,
the amount that was lost, or like the potential that was lost in that time period. That's
yeah.
that's really nothing. So
What got the plug pulled on it?
what got the plug pulled when they? What do you mean?
What no longer exists?
Robinhood still exists.
Well, then what you said something got its plug pulled. What died?
Oh, when the whole like GameStop and AMC things were going on,
Oh, and they just said no
and they
more.
said, actually, you can't buy that or sell that right
Right,
now.
it's right. Got
It's
it.
like
Got it.
they just like they broke the rules. They
Right.
were
Yeah.
like-
That was so still
that was
stupid.
that's kind of the equivalent of, to use the sports analogy, if you're playing a basketball game and you need a timeout, but you don't have any timeouts, so you get a foul.
Right. Right. So the $70 million, who gets that?
I don't know, probably the government.
Classic.
Classic government.
As is tradition.
We can't win.
All right. Next topic. I'm already bored of this one.
Yep, that one's boring. You seen this? You heard about this? A portal to hell has opened up in the middle of the ocean. We did talk about this,
Finally.
actually. Yes. Remember that fire circle in the middle of the Atlantic, I think I sent you a picture of it. I can send you another picture right now.
Sure.
It looks sick. It looks awesome. Everybody,
like,
look it up.
is
It's
it like Scorpion's death portal to Netherrealm?
yes, it is exactly that, except for bigger.
Okay.
So it looks like Godzilla is going to come out of it.
Oh, my
It's
goodness.
the Gulf of Mexico, actually. A pipeline ruptured.
Oh, we talked about this. I didn't see the picture though. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah, how cool is that?
Jesus Christ. That's in water.
Yeah, that's in the Gulf of Mexico.
Oh
So
my god.
we have defeated the ocean.
How
Actually,
is-
I think our podcast is located somewhere in the Gulf.
Jesus.
How did it
Wow.
happen? I believe it was something about a mud volcano erupting underneath the pipeline.
Good lord.
Yeah. It's one of those images that if it's a movie about the apocalypse and they're like, everything was going good, but then things stopped going good. War.
Yeah, CGI has gotten too good where like I see that.
That
and
looks
it's
fake,
like,
right?
It looks fake, yeah.
Yeah. No, it looks like Godzilla's gonna come out. That's
Right.
pretty crazy.
Yeah. Very crazy.
There's not much to
Is
talk
that
about.
is that done yet or is that still going?
I think it's done. No, it's probably still done. Chat, do you know if it's done or if it's not done? It's been a minute.
I remember friggin' Deepwater Horizon lasted forever. It was
Yeah, it's
just
probably still
destroying.
I imagine there's no way, like, it's a bunch of
It's not.
oil.
It's not. These things aren't a simple fix. Like you
Yeah.
don't just stop a pipe
It's
a
never
bazillion
done.
miles under the sea. It's
It's like
you literally have to.
Oh, okay, it's out. They say it's out,
out?
but I imagine
Like
it
it
took
ran out of
forever
oil?
because it didn't just stop because they put the fire out. It stopped because they ran out of oil.
This is like a. It's like an old Dane Cook bit. I don't remember what it was, but it was something about like fire. Put some fire on top of that water, like cover the.
Throw some fire on the water.
Yeah, I used to be a big Dane Cook mark.
I bet that's your time period.
It's exactly my time period, and he's from
To be
our state.
a teenage boy from Massachusetts in the peak of Dane Cookdom.
Yeah. If any massive me stands are in the chat, you can find some of the youngest decent footage of me if you watch Dane Cook's HBO special from 2005 when he goes to Fitchburg State. I'm in the front row, so you can find me there. You can find me in that.
There's no way Dane Cook was still cool by then.
2005?
Yeah.
Oh, that was his peak.
2005. You weren't in college in 2005.
It was my first year of college, but it was earlier in the year, so it was my senior year. It was the end of my senior year.
Oh.
Maybe 2004, either late 2004 or early 2005. I want to say it was.
Yeah, I'd say 2005 is peak Cookdom.
That was definitely his peak. He sold out the TD Garden. He sold out Madison Square Garden. He was a big deal back then.
Yeah. Imagine falling off so hard. It's not his fault. I think just the taste changed.
I assume he's still very rich.
Yeah, I'm sure he's rich, but you just don't hear about him anymore.
I listened to a podcast the other day, or just like a clip from a podcast the other day, where it was just him and some other guy, and they were discussing like why everyone hated him so much, and it was kind of interesting to hear.
Did he say why?
Well, he theorizes that it just kind of became cool to hate him, which it did in a sense. Now that
it did. It's like Nickelback. Like Nickelback isn't bad.
Exactly.
It's the same thing.
Exactly like Nickelback. I was thinking about Nickelback today because Nickelback at one point was one of my favorite bands.
Yeah, Nickelback was cool. It's
And
the thing.
It became a meme where it was like, this sucks, and if you like it, you suck.
Yeah.
And like your friends would like say it, and you'd be like, haha, yeah, me too. I hate it. Don't I?
Nickelback sucks.
Right, don't they suck? And then in my mind, I'm like, Nickelback doesn't suck.
And then I'm like, this is how you remind me of what I really am.
I think that song was like on the radio today,
and
I was
like,
listening to it.
This song sucks.
I'm like, I know all these words. Why this doesn't suck? It's fine. but it just became cool to hate this thing.
Yeah. No, and you know what it is? It's it's easy to like get a mass hate train on like something that's exclusively for white people. Like it's pretty easy to like stuff like white girls like or something. Like you could probably get everybody to hate Starbucks pretty easily. Like if you're just like, ugh, Starbucks, disgusting. What are you, a white girl? Like
That is
it's the same thing.
It's
like, oh, what are you, a teenage boy? You like Nickelback and Dane Cook?
Yeah, it's like, well, yes, I was.
Yes, I was indeed a teenage boy.
Exactly, it's exactly what I was. A white one, nonetheless.
Yeah.
How dare I have the audacity to be a white teenage boy?
How dare I like the things that white teenage boys like?
Yeah.
Yeah, Justin Bieber's kind of the same way. Justin Bieber's a good singer. There's no reason not
Honestly,
to like him. It's just easy to hate things that people like.
The older Justin Bieber got, the more I liked his songs.
Yeah, Justin Bieber slaps.
These are pretty good.
And it's also, yeah, it's the same thing. I remember when I was in high school, it was really cool to just hate emo stuff. Like, I love emo stuff. Emo stuff is awesome. But it's like it's like your instinct to hate the aspects of yourself that you don't like. Like everybody likes that stuff to some degree, but it's
it's like those are the things for like that like teenagers like, but at the same time, if you're a teenager, what's the most important thing to you? It's fitting in with everyone else.
Right.
So if everyone else is telling you to hate it, you're like, yeah, dude,
that's exactly what it is. And it's the same thing with like, I don't know, like friggin' Twilight. It was like super easy to hate Twilight when I was in high school because it's like, oh, the girls like Twilight. I think Twilight is bad actually. I haven't seen it, but it's the same thing. Popular thing. It's
my wife loves Twilight and the books, and I like make fun of her for it, and I've never seen it or read the book.
Never seen it. Yeah, exactly. You're part of the problem. It's not for it just wasn't it wasn't for us.
Yeah.
It's probably for
me. All I know, Twilight's great. I have no idea.
I love vampires. You seen this? You heard about this? Please don't poop on the slide.
Excuse me?
NBC pulls ultimate slip and slide from schedule after explosive diarrhea outbreak on set.
Oh, for God's sake.
Production on Ultimate Slip and Slide was halted indefinitely in June after a crew member tested positive for diarrhea, a microscopic parasite that when swallowed causes diarrheal disease. NBC's upcoming reality competition, Ultimate Slip and Slide, has slid away from its premiere date.
That's good.
Yeah. I don't think this headline actually tricked me. I thought that somebody pooped on the slide, but it was just the poop outbreak.
Oh, no one pooped on the slide?
Nobody.
How did he get the disease?
Probably from catering.
Oh, ew.
Shades of us.
I don't get diseases from catering.
I get diseases from catering. It's the only thing that keeps me from losing all my weight.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that's not a disease, but yeah, that is what does it, yeah.
Depression is a disease, Dijak.
That's true. It's so hard. It's so hard. Like, I didn't get it at first. I was like, I don't understand how people like it's your job to be in shape, so just like go there and don't eat the food. But it's like such a lethal combination to combine like bad news with all the food you can eat.
It's like, hey, I know you left your kids and traveled here and came all this way and wasted all your time, but you're not doing anything today. Also, here's some cheesecake. I have no problem not eating if I'm doing something.
Yeah.
I haven't even eaten today.
Here's a smorgasbord of free food that's bad for you.
Here's carbs.
I'm like, oh, that's exactly what I want right now.
It's like, thank you. I've been starving all week to look good for today. Also tanning and working out. I'm miserable, tired, and exhausted. I would love some carbs.
It really is. It really is like the most lethal of combinations. I think I've been able to avoid it like once. I remember one time I got bad news, and I was like, you know what? Today's the day where I don't just destroy myself in Gatorade.
I do
Because I literally spend the rest of the week like trying to make up for it for one day.
I have a good,
and it doesn't even feel good. It does. I'm not like,
no,
I'm
I
not
don't
like,
enjoy it.
Good. I'm like,
but
good.
I eat it. I eat it until I'm
cheesecake.
sick and have a headache, and then I don't need it anymore.
Correct. That's the goal.
Yeah.
So horrible. Oh man.
You don't care about Pokemon. The lunar wobble. You heard about this?
I've heard of lunar wobbles before. What's this one?
Brace for flooding. A moon wobble is coming. NASA warned. So apparently the axis of the moon is going to change slightly, and it's gonna mess up the weather.
It's gonna fuck up the tides.
It's gonna, the tides, they are changing.
That's so interesting how that works.
Yeah, it's kind of like everything about the weather. It's because we have this rock that's really far but close enough to the planet. That's insane.
Yeah, it's really weird. That is.
If there was no moon, we just wouldn't have weather.
Science is fucked up.
Yeah, it's crazy. Because some planet hit our planet when our planet was being made and stuck around. That's nuts. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And now because the moon is gonna shift slightly, like 1 degree to the right, I'm gonna get taken out by a tidal wave.
Well, just don't go near the water.
I have some bad news for
you. What's that?
This is the CEPHALOPODCAست.
Oh no! Well, good. I have some good news for you. We're already in the water. We can't get taken out by it.
Oh yeah, good. Yes, we will invade the land.
This is our venture to the dry place.
Jellyfish, what's your favorite flavor of ice cream?
I love all ice creams, but I always go with chocolate chip cookie dough, unless they have like a peanut butter chocolate chip cookie dough. Ooh. Or like a chocolate chip cookie dough.
I like that.
Anything with cookie dough is the answer.
Have you heard about the new ice cream that's dropped from Kraft Heinz?
Go on.
You said you like all ice cream, so I assume that you're going to try this limited edition mac and cheese ice cream that's hitting freezers next week.
I did see this picture. Yeah, I'll try that.
Looking at the picture, it doesn't look bad.
Ice cream inherently, by definition, has milk, sugar, and cream in it. So really the flavor, independent of that, is whatever it is, it's going to be sweet and good.
You know what it probably is going to taste like? It's probably going to taste like cheesecake. Yeah.
Yeah, cheesecake, yeah.
If it's a cheese-based ice cream.
I can't imagine that they're going to go heavy on the pasta flavor.
Yeah, or you're going to just throw some uncooked pasta in it. There's pasta chunks.
Yeah, that'd be a little off-putting, I suppose.
Yeah, I'll try it. I want to try that. Have you seen they have? I'm a big smart food mark. They have this.
So is
Todd
the biggest smart food? Yeah.
Yeah, me and Todd. I've seen cod. That's easy. They have this new smart food that is Krispy Kreme donut smart food.
Oh my god!
Which sounds like it's gonna make me sick, but I want to eat it.
Make you sick or thick or both?
Both.
Yeah.
Why not both?
Why not both? Hooray!
All right, this is the last topic on the docket. If you would like to call in to the CEPHALOPODCAST, make sure you make a donation or are a patron. All of the money goes to a good cause. And also jump into the waiting room on the Discord, which you should join. It's awful. Last topic,
Yeah.
We are sea creatures, after all, right?
True.
What would you do if methamphetamines were introduced into our ecosystem?
What?
Because CNN says that methamphetamine in waterways may be turning trout into meth addicts.
Oh, for God's sake. So
We don't deserve to live on this planet. Flippy, thank you.
Much love.
How's the meth getting in the water?
Great question. Researchers led by Pavel Horky, a behavioral ecologist from Czech University of Life Sciences in Prague, set out to investigate whether illicit drugs alter fish. Oh wait, they're just making them meth addicts.
What's the fucking point of that? That just sounds unethical.
Come on, let's find out. The team put 40 brown trout in a tank of water containing a level of methamphetamine that has been found in freshwater rivers. Okay, they did find meth in the river. They're trying to see if the fish get addicted to meth. But there is
no
meth in the water.
No one was able to answer why the meth got in the water.
I don't. Trout spent. No, they're just saying that they are becoming addicted to meth. So that's a thing. They go through withdrawal.
Jesus.
Even low levels of illicit drugs in the bodies can affect the animals that live in them. Yeah, that makes sense.
What's the worst drug? Is meth regarded as the worst drug?
Meth has got to be the worst, or maybe crack because it's like not clean or well regulated.
The thing about crack, though, is I don't think
Defender.
Well, first of all, crack is literally just. I believe I have this correct.
It's bad, cheap cocaine, right?
Yeah, it's just cocaine laced with other things.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that's potentially worse depending on what else is in it, I guess. I don't know. I just feel like meth is like.
Meth is the like there's the faces of meth. Like you don't see the faces of weed.
Right. Well, definitely not weed, but like
you don't see the faces of crack.
I feel like cocaine and like heroin probably like kill you faster.
But meth ruins you. Like
meth
turns you into a walking dead.
You don't hear a lot about people who just like overdose on meth, right? It's usually like an overdose on. I guess you can. Right?
But meth, like the side effects of meth, are just awful.
Yeah, it really destroys you.
Like I'd rather die at some point.
I don't even know what does meth do? Is it like a hallucinogen? Does it make you feel good? What does it do?
It makes you itchy. I can't say. I haven't had a meth before.
No, me neither. People on meth just look like they're not enjoying what they're doing.
No, they look miserable and dead.
Yeah. Right. I don't know. Weird. Like I know what coke does. People on coke seem to be having like the time of their lives.
A blast.
Yeah. I've never done coke, but like at least that makes sense to me. Like,
it's like, at least I'm having fun. Like I'm not. Yeah, I'm not.
Risk their life to like have fun and like speed up and go do things. And
like are you like, hey, I'm out for a good time tonight. Let's have some meth.
No, I feel like meth is like, boy, my life is miserable. Time to forget about it.
Time to go away.
Right. It just does not seem pleasant at all.
Yeah. Don't do drugs, kids. All right, call-in time. Who is going to be Gambit? Gambit? Mon frère, mon cher.
Mon cher.
Mon cher. Could it be? It is. It's the tuna.
Deputy Detective Gambit.
Completely forgot about the whatever. How's it going?
Good. How are you, Gambit?
I'm
Hi.
doing pretty well.
Will you be our Janny today?
I will be the Janny today.
What does
Wonderful.
Janny stand for or mean?
Janitor.
Janitor.
Yes.
So they just clean up our shit.
Yep.
Yes.
Thank you.
Which is ironic because I'm an actual janitor.
What?
Are you?
Yeah, I've been cleaning for like since September.
So you're the
but
rare
I've-
Janny.
Yes.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
Salute.
Do you
All
have
right, who will you
a
bring?
question? Well, first of all, make sure you put I want you to handle the clock today, all right? I don't want to
All
have
right, we
to
got a
talk to
timer.
these disgusting mutants for more than
I
2
bet-
minutes.
I bet being a janitor or a custodian pays
Okay.
decently.
Yeah.
How much do you make for being a janitor? If you don't
It's
mind.
mostly it's kind of like how do I explain it? It's more like I'm working for my mom, for my
Okay.
mom's office.
Yep.
And I always clean up at the end of the day. So that's usually like $10 a day, $60 a week. But since it's summer, it's just 2 days. But it's
Where
gonna be a
do
temporal job
Are the
because I'm gonna be
are the
this doesn't
hours
take
just
part.
at night?
No, it's sometimes it was mostly at night. It's just depending on the day. It's
Huh.
like it's just the end of the day. But overall,
How long does this take you?
about like 30 minutes to an hour. Like I'm pretty good at it because my first
Yeah.
job was cleaning a court
Uh-huh.
so that it could be used as a lunchroom.
Mhm.
Like back in 2016.
Yeah. Back in the day.
But overall, this is just going to be a temporary measure since I'm going to start studying on August.
Yeah.
And I'm also going to have a job at the same time, an official one.
congratulations.
There's
Yeah.
never any shame in having any kind of job. You're already
No,
doing
no.
better than most people.
I ask because I'm not that far removed from selling pet food and also from being a valet who parked cars for other people. I am.
That would be annoying if your
That
big
is-
long legs got in my car and messed up my seat.
Yeah. No, part of being a valet is keeping the seat where it was. You don't want to.
So you
Oh,
just
true.
crash
You
the
gotta
car.
keep. You gotta
good
keep
valet
things.
leaves it.
You gotta keep things nightly like that. I already
We don't-
learned this thing.
Nightly.
Yeah.
tightly knit.
Tightly knit. Yeah. Anyways, I got the timer set.
All right. Do you have any
and-
questions? You get your time first as a loyal Janny and patron of the
Mhm.
arts. Do you have any questions, comments, concerns, queries for the team of retrofission?
I really have no inquiry whatsoever.
Nice.
Like, other than the fact that, well, like every single time someone says, "Oh, I have no inquiry," and then they just go say that,
Yeah, they do be.
you know,
saying
it's
that.
it's kind of ironic because like it's coming from me, and I do that a lot because I just don't think at the moment.
Would you like to shill Damo's Twitch stream?
I will shill Damos. I will shill not just Damos, but I will also shill. First off, I will shill Damo. Go check out Damo Mackle at twitch.tv/Damo Mackle, as he's going to do a mini Tekken tournament tomorrow
Oh,
on PS4.
fun.
Ooh.
Is he
Who's
is
in
he
it?
affiliated yet? I think he was close.
I'm not sure. Other than that, I will also shill friend of the show, Novella Cypher, who usually streams on Sundays as well. And recently debutee. Have you seen Peach Saliva's model?
I did.
It's great.
Yeah.
Like surprisingly.
Looks expensive.
Also shill twitch.tv/DJamesAllen.
Boo.
Boo. It's pinging me like that. You know what? I'm gonna bring him in first.
Okay. Boo.
Boo! You got 2 minutes.
First off, y'all have Gambit in here talking about nightly tits. What's that about? Come on now.
It was a misfire, okay? Tightly knit.
Nice tits.
I like Jelly just in the background.
Like Beavis and Butthead, the show that scarred him.
Yes.
First off, just want to start out. I got to go to the Wednesday whaling show, and I'm excited for you guys to whale in front of some crowds too. I think it's gonna be, it's gonna be a good time.
I look forward to whaling.
Yes, I was thinking of a serious question and jokey question. I'll go with the more jokey one. Besides the animals that you currently are, what other animal would you like to represent you? Also, that jellyfish. I also used to like Dane Cook. It's okay.
You were also a teenage white guy.
That is true. These are facts.
I mean, we lived in an era where Dane Cook was everywhere.
We lived in a society where Dane Cook was everywhere.
True.
That jellyfish, what's your spirit animal? I can say that because my grandfather was a Native American.
T-Rex.
Hell yeah.
Ooh. So as you know, octopus is my favorite animal. I am the only one that picked my avatar. I have an octopus tattoo. But I love. We went to the safari, like the drive-through safari, a couple weeks ago, and I gained a great appreciation for the rhinoceros.
Hell yeah.
The rhinoceros, which has no natural predators. Once a rhinoceros is full grown, nothing hunts it because it's
why would you?
Tank. Yeah, exactly.
It's literally armored.
Yeah, it's an armored tank, which is crazy to me. It's kind of like a dinosaur, but not a lizard.
And scrolling, then my time's up. I watched Space Jam right before I got on here. Space Jam 2.
Not
movies. It's not great, but it's way better than people have given it crap for.
Yeah, I thought so too. I thought it wasn't. It wasn't. I heard it was like abysmal because the first thing I heard about was like there's Big Chungus. And I was like, that sounds.
I heard it was Ready Player 1 too, and I said, oh no.
Yeah.
Ready Player 2 exists.
Well,
What is wrong with Ready Player 1?
It gets a little cringy with its over reference and stuff.
Dijak, here's my.
So you guys are video game losers.
No. It's not even that. Let me, because I just had this conversation with my wife because she was like, "Oh, Brendan probably didn't." My wife. So like, I found the Space Jam 2 to be entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't mind it. However, I, as somebody who appreciates the arts, right?
Yes.
Understand that movies like Ready Player 1 and like Space Jam 2, where it's not about the actual like writing or anything about the movie, it's just about making references. Yeah. In 100 years, like that's the most like draconian thing about Space Jam 2 is all of the like dead actors that they can just repurpose because they own the rights to. It's really just like a Warner Brothers flex of look at all of our properties. And I can easily see a future where, because we already are in friggin' remake and sequel and, you know, like creatively bankrupt present. Like I can see a future in 100 years where there is just nothing new ever again. It's just, especially if you can, let's just have Matrix Lord of the Rings and it's just that. Like, that's a thing. That's the thing they can do. They can just do that.
Ready Player 1, I felt was kind of like Big Bang Theory, the movie.
Oh no, yeah, that's for sure. And I read the book.
With Big Bang Theory.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing. I think you don't dislike it because you're not a huge nerd, right? Because it feels like it's kind of like trying to be nerdy, but it's like no real nerds talk like that.
Yeah. That's how Big Bang Theory is. That's why nerds.
Oh, I know what this is. I'll solve this because I know this reference.
Yeah, and it's kind of like it's stereotyping nerds, but it's like
here's what James Allen wants to say, but he won't say it because he's white. It's kind of racist.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I was thinking more of Mind Demencia.
It's nerd. It's nerd appropriation.
It kind of is like it and it's like, haha, they're so nerdy. Look, nerds always are like this. It's like, no, they're not. Like it's and then it's like you'll have someone be like, "Oh, you like computer games? Haha, you're like Sheldon, bazinga!" And it's like,
Bazinga.
shut the fuck up, dude. Yeah. So it's been like that. I think if you're not already like very much in that culture where it's like, oh, they made a weird reference to this nerdy thing. It's like if you're already a nerd, you're like, yeah, I already know about that nerdy thing. It's not like, oh, he said Kevin Conroy's his favorite Batman. Who's that? Oh, he's the voice actor of Batman. Ha ha ha. It's like, yeah, he is a good Batman. Yeah. So it's kind of like that where it's just a little too stereotypical with the characters they make, and that's kind of what Ready Player One was too, where it's like, what kind of video game has been around for years and has a racing mode that no D-bag has just thrown reverse in at the start of the game.
Right.
And no one solved that puzzle. That the first puzzle was to go backwards at the beginning of the race.
Imagine.
Yep.
Yeah, it's it was just a little cringy. Like I said, I think if you don't live in those worlds as heavily, it's fine. Like you can enjoy it pretty easily. But I think it feels insulting if that's the world you live in.
Imagine if somebody made a wrestling movie that like was just very surface level. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, I was just trying to think of that.
Not only like
Which fortunately, I don't think that exists.
That's not happened because the wrestler was very not surface level.
What about that one with the dog in Johnny? Yeah,
the Air Buddies.
What is it?
Yeah.
The Air Buds
it's like those.
with John Morrison getting eaten by a dog.
I remember that one.
It's stuff like that where it's like, but then like everyone else is telling you how good it is and how much it's really like wrestling, and you're like, no, it's not like that.
Okay.
So that's just the way I can kind of put it.
Fair enough.
But yeah, Space Jam's good. We're way past. I was gonna say if there's anything else that you can think of that's it's fine. It's me. And there's only 3 other people here.
Wow.
Hey, no, we want to stretch out the time to get more of those donations, baby.
Yeah.
True. Even though we reached our goal, we can
good
keep on
job,
going.
buddy.
The goal never needs to end.
Good job, MLC.
But
at least I wasn't singing.
Like emo music and Dane Cook and Nickelback, what are some other things that are perfectly fine that people probably crap on?
Perfectly fine.
All American Rejects.
People particularly
I didn't know
crap
people
on
made
All
fun of
American Rejects.
I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not sure they're actually shitting on them.
Maybe TV shows, movies, anything that you can think of in particular.
What's there's gotta be a movie.
Yeah, I mean it's hard to just like think of it in that context if it came up.
Even though I don't think they're great, I think the most recent Star Wars movies are probably on par with the rest of them.
No, those were bad.
I think almost all the Star Wars movies are kind of bad besides the first 3.
The Star Wars is bad.
Like there's been like what 10 movies and only like 3 of maybe 4 of them have been good.
More of them have been bad than good.
No. 4, 5, 6, all good.
Three's good.
You know, here's a good one.
3's fine.
Phantom Menace. I'll put this right at the top.
There you go.
Things that people shit on.
That's your answer, yeah.
That does not deserve to be shit on. Why?
Okay.
Why do people hate the Phantom Menace so much? Yes, Jar Jar Binks is somewhat annoying. He doesn't like.
So are the Ewoks.
He doesn't engulf the movie. It's not like all Jar Jar Binks. There's good parts for adults about politics. There's good parts for children with fun pod racing. Yes, Jake Lloyd is not a good actor. That being said, he's a child portraying a child, so it's like, who cares that his lines are not delivered properly?
Yippee.
The movie has awesome lightsaber scenes, some of the best.
Oh yeah, Darth Maul's cool.
Darth Maul's one of the best characters in all of Star Wars. It's really good. It's got a really good story. Liam Neeson's a great actor.
Yeah.
They're full of great actors. Natalie Portman, great actor. What's the name of the guy who plays Kenobi?
Oh, Ewan McGregor.
Ewan McGregor's a great actor. It's full of great actors.
Yeah.
General Kenobi.
It's a really good movie. I wouldn't put it in my top probably 4, but it's number 5 probably.
Like I said, I think they're probably close on par with the newest ones. I don't think they're that drastically better or worse. I think they're all fine.
The last one I felt was a mess.
Yeah.
7
was fine.
7 is better than fine. It's really
7
good.
is okay.
7 is fine in that it's just a rehash of friggin'
Yeah, episode 4.
Yeah, 4.
7 is really good. 8 is really bad, and 9 is even worse.
9 is just.
That being
here's the
said,
thing.
nothing is as bad as 2. 2 is the worst movie.
2 is the absolute worst. Thank you.
It's atrocious. It's the
2
only Star
has a
Wars movie.
soft spot in my heart.
It's
2
the
is just a
only-
lot of talking. It's nothing but talking.
It's the only Star Wars
Yeah.
movie out of the first 6 that I haven't seen like 50 times.
Yeah.
I have the
I think I've seen it twice.
I
think
have
I've forced
bias,
myself to see it
so
twice.
my thoughts are not valid. I still
Also,
have
you're
to
also
take-
Gambit. You're a child in comparison.
I grew up with episode 2 and episode 1. I grew
That's
up with the
that's my
prequels.
point. That's my point.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
No, it's not a diss on you, but like you grew up with them. You were a child when you. I mean, so was I. But like, I think that makes it why we can accept them more because we were a child and we were forgiving of what was happening.
I mean,
Like
I
me
thought
and
Michael
Manny
Bay
like
was
the
the best
ruthless
filmmaker
aggression
ever.
era.
Exactly.
I legit thought at one period Michael Bay was the best filmmaker of all time because
There we
I
go.
watched
He's
Revenge
the
of the
best.
Fallen.
He's the best at making money.
He's the best at making
Yeah,
money,
he's-
yeah.
So Gambit, is Transformers your answer to this then?
No. My answer is you know what my answer is? I'm gonna put it full circle. The reason why Space Jam 2 exists is because nobody watched Back in Action.
What is
Looney
back in
Tunes,
that?
Looney Tunes
It's the
back in
Brendan
action?
Fraser movie.
Yeah.
It's the Brendan Fraser movie.
You know, I know that. Brendan Fraser's my boy.
Which
Yeah, that's true.
Which,
Picard
That was
is
true.
bad. Don't tell me otherwise.
It had Brendan Fraser and Steve Martin in it. It took mostly in place. It took more place in the real world than the Toon world.
Yeah, that's for sure. But I really loved it.
Debo,
Oh
you got
wow,
it?
what a properly placed product placement in the desert.
Debo, you got an answer for this before I bounce out?
Not like go back to the idea of emo music, and I think I've talked about this before. It was taboo for an African American gentleman such as myself to enjoy the whining wails of the suburban white boy, and now it's not. So you're welcome.
Which is weird because it wasn't really the opposite for me. Being like the white guy who listened to only rap.
White
Like,
kids
they
are. Yeah.
I got made fun of by other white people more than anything else.
Yeah.
Like for being a white guy, oh, you're acting black. It's like, no, I just like rap music.
Yeah.
So it seems like white people just tease people like they're insecure. I don't know.
No, because black
Anyway.
people made fun of me for listening to emo music, so it's
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
Everybody just gets their own.
We all have a good night. Thanks for hanging out.
Good night, James Allen. Watch his stream.
Yeah.
Next,
Thanks, guys.
Streams.
get him out.
All right, who do we bring in next?
See if Baja will work today.
You got 2 minutes.
We can hear him. The rib is over.
Yep, I can actually talk to you because I got fired and rehired from my job in the span of 2 days.
Congrats.
Before I talk about that, I wanted to say a surface level wrestling movie does exist. It was the one where Otis farted on a child and then he beat Baba.
Oh
Tunde.
yeah, you're right. Main event,
Yeah.
starring your close personal friend Keith Lee and our close personal friend General Aziz.
You gotta know whoever made that was a Coconut Loop fan. Because Bugenhagen was in it, Baba Tunde was in it.
I think he was a fan of whoever was available. Your
But,
question,
yeah.
please, Bajito.
I think I played
Yes.
pretty well.
I wanted to ask if, because Brendan's time as a wagey, a common man working, is about as short as his illustrious independent career. But my question is,
That's
do either
true.
of you have any stories from working?
Only that I probably made Dijak a sub once.
Yes, it was
What?
probably delicious.
Oh,
It was probably a number 9.
I worked at the D'Angelo's and made many number 9s in Bridgewater when he was in college. So odds are, I made him a number 9, and it was probably real
Nice.
good because I put my own special sauce on it.
Oh, you know what I like.
Can I tell some stories from my job? Because I've only been here a month and I already have a ton of
How did you get fired and rehired?
Where do you work?
I work at a restaurant. I'm not gonna say which one, but it's a
Chili's.
It's a chain of 2. and we served Cajun food.
Hell, why would
And-
you not? What are you afraid someone's like your super fans are gonna come in and start hounding you for?
Dude, I don't
All
know
the
what they
Fridays
think,
marks. Well, how did you
Yeah.
get fired and rehired? That sounds
Yeah.
interesting.
That's an interesting story.
Our owner was in town. She lives in Arkansas, but she came to visit the store to promote one of our employees to manager and basically see how the store was doing.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
she was sitting next to a table where a man and his girlfriend were sitting. And the man had ordered something that comes in a bowl. It's like a Jolly Blanc or something. And I brought him that, and I brought him silverware. His girlfriend ordered a catfish basket, which I assumed she was going to eat with her hands like everybody
Dang, that
does.
sounds bomb.
Yeah, we got some good food there.
That
But
does sound good. I've never had a catfish basket.
No?
it's fried.
When we go to New
catfish
Orleans, we'll
fries.
get one.
Yeah.
Sounds
But
good.
I brought it to him, and I brought him silverware, but I didn't bring the girlfriend silverware because I thought she was going to eat it with her hands.
Well, they fired you?
No, he complained and said, "Hey, can you bring my girlfriend's silverware?" I was like, "I'm sorry, I'll do so." And while I was doing so, he turns to the owner, who was inconveniently sitting next to his table because we all had a meeting that day, and he starts complaining to her about me not bringing the girlfriend's silverware. And then 20 minutes later, I get shit canned.
Wow.
But
Sounds
2 days later, turns out there was a Yelp review from the day I got fired, where another customer I served said at one point in the article or in the review, "But our server Baja was great." And they called me and said, that was an overreaction.
yeah, a little
by
bit.
the owner.
Mhm.
You
Massive
have your
overreaction.
job, and also we saw this review. You have your job back, and I was like, "Sweet,
Well, that's good.
yeah."
That's crazy.
couple
It's
Yeah.
just,
If they
it's
were
like,
there-
oh, I sneezed.
It's like, and if
I
they thought
sneezed.
that
It was your
bad,
fault.
if they thought that was bad, they should have been there the night the 6'7" woman and her family of 6 threatened me and the cook and then left without paying.
Dang, she
No.
probably would have murdered you.
Can I tell that story?
A
Yeah.
queen.
Please.
Okay,
Please
so
tell us about how you were dominated by a tall queen.
Now we're getting into my fetishes.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, stop.
this woman had to have been Dijak's height. I got to be serious here. But it was her and her tatted up douchebag boyfriend, and they were sitting with their kids. And
How tall is your boyfriend?
He was like my height. I'm
Oh.
5'.
Oh no.
Lucky guy.
Yeah, it's like something
Climbs
straight
the
out of
mountain.
yeah. And and so I sit them down and everything's going good. And then they had a party with them. They ordered something. They said I did it wrong, even though that's what I wrote down, whatever that happens. And then they get their stuff, everything's going good, and then I bring them 2 boxes and they say, "Hi, wait, I brought them 2 bags, and I asked the question that is gonna break this fucking table. You ready?
Yeah.
Hi, ma'am. Could you tell me what you need these bags for so I can help you?" But she cut me off, so it sounded like, what do you need these bags for?" And then but she cut me off before I could finish the whole thing, so it sounded like that.
Uh-huh.
And she got so pissed off and marched up to the counter and told me, "Now a military discount ain't gonna be enough. You should comp my whole table." And then she started threatening me and the cook, like, "I'm gonna fucking this and that,"
Nice.
And then her family left, and her kids looked at her like, and their kids were like kind of looking at me like I'm sorry. And that was that. And then
Well, you didn't get fired for that one.
And then a couple days later, my gay coworker got into a fight with his boyfriend in
Easy.
a parking lot. So yeah, it's been a wild one so far, but I'm making good money.
Well, I'm glad that you're being enriched with such adventures.
Yes. Brendan, if a woman your height tried to threaten you at D'Angelo's, would you cry?
No,
So
I
your
don't
sister.
cry. I'm a robot. Yeah, my sister.
Your sister threatened you at D'Angelo's.
My sister bumped me today, so.
Nice. Queen.
Well,
Oh.
I wanted to let you know that I'm gonna be at the SmackDown when it comes to Phoenix, so I'm not gonna see you guys. But I wanted to.
Well,
You don't know that.
Nah.
What do you write the show?
No.
Were you expecting Mandy Rose on NXT this week? No.
Ooh.
That I'll be honest, that came out of nowhere. You got me there.
Sure did.
No.
But
So was Mason
see-
T-Bar on SmackDown. You heard it here first, dirt sheets.
Anything can happen in the
This is
World
probably
Whaling
gonna cut
Federation.
off.
but yeah, that's that. I wish you guys luck.
Can I
the-
put over Baja for a second here?
Yes.
Sure.
Every time I go to Taco Bell,
You mean literally Baja Blast?
literally every time I go to Taco Bell, I get a delicious diet Baja Blast, and I think of the internet personality Baja.
Hey, I mean,
That's the
Our-
power.
right.
That's the power of actually having a gimmick
yeah.
and
true.
a name like that.
I mean,
it's-
Ari Sterling puts me over every week, so there's that.
It's I remember this week specifically, I was looking at my delicious drink, and I was thinking to myself,
I wonder how
How the
Baja's
hell-
doing.
how the hell did he come up with the name Baja? Does he literally just enjoy the soda and like decided that he liked it so much?
Okay, so
Or was
it
it the kind
started
of
when
thing?
it started when I had to make a Steam account, and the name that I no, it wasn't a Steam account, it was something else, and the name that I chose that I usually use for everything else, I can't remember what it was taken. And I'm
Mhm.
like, and I just did the tried and true of what's something I like in 2 numbers, and that's what I came up with. Baja Blast
Yep.
76.
Yep. Nice. It is a wonderful drink.
Yes, it's
I'm
I'm so happy that they're starting to sell it like in stores, like
Yep.
bottled.
100 days of Baja, baby. You know what I'm saying?
Wait, what do you mean?
Okay.
Is it a limited time thing?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Why
I'm
Oh, you
told
better
Why
that's
do they
stock
do
up.
that?
You better
Why the
stock
fuck
up.
do they do that? Just sell it all the fucking time.
have
You
a-
hate
People
money?
not buy it? Are
I
people
have a-
more interested in Code Red that tastes like fucking
Limited
dirt?
edition stuff is wrong. Shouldn't exist. If Baja Blast should stay, it should be permanent.
One
Or
last
else
thing.
it's gonna be in liquidation.
Yeah, Code
One
Red
last thing.
sucks.
Oh yeah, it tastes like fucking Tylenol.
Yeah.
One last thing before I leave. For Damo's card, I believe I can talk about this. The card that we made for Damo.
Yes.
I drew a picture of some of my favorite Damo moments, and it got butchered in the scan when I had to put it into the computer. So I'm gonna send it to you guys because it means a lot to me.
All right.
So,
I'll make sure he gets it.
all right.
Alright.
You
And
guys have a
also,
nice night.
thanks to the community, Damo did enjoy that card. It made him smile, a warm, Gimli smile.
Yeah.
All credit goes to Larry to organizing this.
Yeah,
Oh,
Larry's
Larry,
great.
F. Larry.
All right. See you guys later.
Bye, Baja.
Alright, so who do we bring both of them in?
Who?
Paige and Flippy.
Oh, one at a time's fine. We're almost at our 2 hours.
Alright.
It's Paige!
Ah! Oh, hey, folks.
Hello.
He came in and he was already screaming.
Should we okay, so now that we praised Larry, can we shit on him for his taste on Incredibles? He's not here.
We can, but I kind of want to save that for, I don't know, are we doing the,
No, we'll
Oh,
do
shit.
it.
Are
We'll
we
do
doing
a
under the
debate. We'll do a
surface?
debate.
today? Okay, yeah, I need to prep some notes.
Yeah, you need notes.
Please do.
You have to
Most
defeat
of
him
my
with
notes-
facts and logic.
Most of my notes are going to be Larry is smelly.
Those are good notes because it's true. I've smelled him.
Schmelk.
I've been up this close to him and he smells.
Yep. No, he bought me sushi. Larry's like a super nice
Ah.
guy. I hate him.
Alright,
He's too
I
pure.
hate him,
got
but he's
them.
nice.
Paige, what's your question?
Okay, well, it was very fortuitous that through all of these call-ins, the common thread seemed to actually be jobs, because I've been thinking lately, after 4
Okay.
years of university education and an entire pandemic, I have settled into a position of slicing ham and turkey at my local supermarket.
Was it worth it?
Nice.
I'm making
Nice.
decent money. more money than I had been before, considering previously I wasn't making any money that. I mean, besides commissions, because you were tossing the money my way, like I was some kind of poor person on the streets you were tossing crumbs at.
It's like,
Honest to God, I
That's-
know so many people with college degrees that were just a complete waste of time and money. It is unbelievable.
I am such a big proponent of, I feel like the college industrial complex, it sells itself as like this time where you're supposed to like leave home immediately after high school and find yourself. That's stupid. Like, if anything, you should take like a good year or two and figure out what the hell you want to do before you go to college and then get a degree in something that you're not going to end up doing. Because nobody does the job that they go to college for, unless you're like a doctor or a lawyer or something that you have been actually trying to be for like, I don't know, since
or an IT person that's going to help boomers, and that because they probably don't understand computers at all.
Yeah. College is mean. You should, I mean, if you need it, then do it, but like, don't do it just cause.
Right. Exactly. That's
I know what happened to me.
That's the ticket.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm still kind of trying to get some maybe freelance work with what I studied for, because I have an advertising degree. It was with a concentration in creative development, so I'm looking for jobs that are like graphic design and stuff. And I'm kind of looking to film that even while I'm working here.
Well, if you need any advice, I make graphic designs for WWE on a semi-regular basis. So I did not go to college.
It blows my mind. Like
that makes me feel better.
Like that.
I got a whole fucking degree in this, and Jibo's over here like, oh, I didn't even study this shit.
That's the thing. That's the thing, is that it's wonderful. I'm sure you're very talented, and the degree, like, that's great that you studied it and learned about it. But like, there's just so many success stories of people who just like did it themselves and just like kept working on it themselves. It's like, I feel like
I bet they don't have a fancy piece of paper mounted in a frame.
That's
so
true. That's true.
It's so useless.
You guys are making
no, it's me. It's not you. It's me.
It's not your
like
fault.
I'm like, I have this degree in criminal justice, and it's like, according to that paper, like, I'm one of those smartest, like, most knowledgeable people about criminal justice, and I'm not. Anyone who's ever like actually been interested in like crime research and worked in the field or worked in a prison or something, they all know more about the system than I do from like reading books about it.
Reading books.
Stupid waste of time.
Imagine reading a book.
Idiot.
Yeah. No, I went to college because it was free and it let me play football.
Yeah. What's your degree in, Brennan?
Communications.
Jibo. Communications.
Yep. Because I wanted to do journalism, but couldn't.
They just didn't offer it, or what?
They did. It's one of the best journalism schools in the country, but
why didn't you?
Class schedules.
Oh. Well,
you guys are taking this in like
probably
a lot more of a serious topic of discussion direction. I was just gonna be like,
oh yeah, you want to
talk
about like slicing ham?
Yeah, we just went from slicing ham to shitting on college. It's that's kind of the deal.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, I was so eager to get on here that I turned this podcast on as soon as I got in my car to come home.
No.
The main thing I wanted to ask was, I don't know, what were your guys' first jobs after you got out of college? Because this is technically mine.
Jesus.
Dijack's probably better than mine.
I got a bunch of them. Right out of college. So I graduated in 2011.
So.
And then I started. What the hell was I doing when I met my wife?
My wife.
I think I was selling. Yeah, I was doing product demonstrations for Kodak. I was
picture that with a Kodak.
Yeah, exactly. That's when they were doing that Pitbull Pitbull was a big sponsor of Kodak right when I was there.
Oh my god, I like remember that time. The
2010.
timeline's
Was that
falling into place.
2008?
What was the question? Sorry. I
Was
didn't
that
hear.
like was that like back in 2008?
It started in 2008, but I was working there in 2010, 2011.
Oh my
So-
god.
So I was doing printers, I was doing cameras. The following years when I got a real job.
Was the writing on the wall at that point that they were going to be completely demolished by the phone?
No, not at all. Not even slight. It's crazy how this really isn't that long. Oh, I mean, I guess it is at this point. It's probably 10 years ago, but really, we're not that far removed from like a digital camera, which is a completely useless thing at this point.
Just a piece of garbage.
Yeah, just like if I ever found my camera, I'd like punt it out the window.
The only camera that's worth having is like a $5,000 one with like a giant.
Yeah,
lens.
like a yeah.
No, this was very much just like a $60 camera that like wasn't as good as a phone is. So it's just completely useless.
The only hope that digital cameras have now is like having that sort of hipster revival that Polaroids did for a little
Oh yeah,
bit.
you're right. Do you think people
That was
there will
cool.
be like a niche for like kind of okay pictures that have the date and time in the corner?
I'd argue
Yeah,
it probably
I
already
think
started.
that's already an aesthetic
You
because like
can do that
it's
with
been
the
a
phone.
filter.
Yeah, you
It's
can
a
do that on
filter,
your
yeah.
phone.
It
Yeah,
is
you could do it on
aesthetic.
your phone, like Instagram.
But yeah, so I did that, and then I got a job with the public defender's office, which was quote unquote a real job, but they paid me the biggest joke of a salary. It was less than $30,000 a year, which for the time I was working is just completely ludicrous. It probably less than the $10 an hour that they're cleaning rooms or whatever. So that was ridiculous. I ended up getting fired from that job for going to an AJ Styles seminar and lying about it.
Uncle
Sorry,
Alan
what?
strikes again.
And now he sprays tanner on my back. So
No, I
Full
spray
circle.
tanner on your back. I learned.
well, he did a better job than you. But
Yeah, because I've never used tanner because I'm black.
you got me yelled at.
Oh yeah, I did get you. No, that was Manny.
Oh man, a lot of fun stories here that we kind of can't tell. But so yeah, I got fired from that, and that's when as I mentioned earlier in the podcast, I started selling pet food, parking cars.
Part of your curing exploits.
And then I worked in a social or a group home for teenage boys, and I did that until 2017, not that long ago.
Okay. Devo, you run this podcast, you're obligated to answer.
Ah, yes, of course. When I graduated college, I was drafted into the NFL.
Dijak telling his
Yes,
telling his whole spotted story.
Yeah,
And then
sorry,
she's
sorry
like,
about your struggle session. I became.
Sorry with your problems over there.
We kind of reminds me of the time you took Dijak took my time. Jellyfish took my time on the call-in one time, like a year ago, actually. Yeah, it's been more than a year ago since then.
It's really stuck with you, didn't it?
No, it just came back to me right now. But no, it's just hitting me like Jesus Christ, this podcast has been going on for 2 years.
We've been at it for a while in different forms. So many different
forms. Different arcs, different names. Doesn't
I'm
matter.
not
It's
sure.
the same soul.
Like most things, I'm not sure anything will ever touch the original.
No.
Me and Manny were just talking about like and that wasn't even the original. The original was really it was just me, and then it was kind of just me and Manny, and then we kind of made the whole Insiders thing where that was like a character arc.
Yeah.
And that was
Or Insider.
Yeah, that was the peak of like
So it's
making
strange
the most
because I
money.
I really wasn't directly involved in that.
You were not.
But we were
No.
all friends.
We were. You just, for whatever
Yeah.
reason, were not involved.
Yeah.
Neither
You
was
were the
Damo.
least. Yeah,
I would
and
get,
then
I would get like updates on what was happening. I very specifically remember looking at my phone and just reading the timeline of cancellation.
This is
When
long.
it all went
Last
tumbling down. No, I
It all
actually
went
I
tumbling
think
down.
about it all the time because right now I'm looking at the my wallpaper on this computer, and it's the unused Insiders Season 3 loading screen.
Nice.
And it's got like the silhouettes of me, a silhouette of Shane, and a silhouette of Seth Rollins that we say is Manny. And I was like, well, it kind of feels bad that it's not, there's no Damo or Dijak in this picture on my computer because you guys are on it more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can
I
add
think
them
the-
in. There's still time.
Yeah, there's still time.
all right.
You got anything else, Paige?
Wow, I've been doing it for 2 years, and that was just this call-in. I bet everyone's sick of me by now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Flippy is
Okay.
still waiting in the waiting room. We gotta
Everybody pay Paige to make you big booby art.
Big booby. I'm talking honkers. I'm
Big,
talking Baba
giant
honkaroos.
mommy milker honkers.
Beep beep. So long. Thanks for all the fish. See ya.
Bye. Last call. Oh, yeah, last call. Flippy.
Flippy.
How goes it, pal?
I'm great. And you?
I'm good. I'm well.
Currently dying.
You have any questions, queries, inquiries?
I just wanted to say I'm enjoying the podcast. I've been on here like once, twice in the past.
You've been on
Every time I show up here, it's like,
Yeah.
You were in the pre under the surface.
Oh, yeah, the pseudo
Oh,
under the
yeah.
surface.
oh yeah, because I cut that fire promo.
Yeah. Hot
Speak,
heat.
segue. This segue into the question. So, oh crap. So, segue into this question. Other than, have any of you guys like seen any? Dang it! I had the question in my head. I'm brain fried. Give me a second. Oh yeah.
It'll come.
Have any of you guys watched any like WWE 2K streams on Twitch or YouTube or anything like that? This is a good segue into that because I've been meaning to ask Die Jellyfish about this.
Not much. I watched the new Legacy guys, but they barely play 2K. they play everything but.
The only time I've ever seen 2K being played is when I was sitting in the room with
Oh yeah, with
Hugo and Swordfish
yeah.
playing it, which was painful.
It was painful. That was not a very good game.
I honestly just think it's interesting.
I have a personal gripe with that
With
game.
Ribby.
Intentionally didn't use me in it and then used my entire moveset in it.
Oh god.
Including
I just really think it's
move
interesting.
names that are my own intellectual property without my permission. So I'm not very happy about
Actually,
that.
I'm pretty sure Sammy Guevara made that move up. So.
Oh, did he?
Did you hear his voice right now? Did you hear his voice? That was real anger.
Oh god.
Remember when we used to shoot on the podcast?
Good times.
Good times. Now we're sanitized and clean under the
It makes
seat.
it
Can't say that. Clamseled.
I just think it's interesting how people who use like the community uploader and like use the creation suite to like make just these different characters, and you look at them and you're just like, dang, this actually looks really good.
Oh yeah, I used to be a hell of
And
a
you just like
paw
post them on
maker.
YouTube.
I used to make sick cause. Actually, what I find interesting One, unrelated to what I was about to say. When people say that wrestlers look like Cause, and I'm like, well, first of all, my Cause look great. Second of all, every wrestler you don't know looks like a creative wrestler. That's stupid. That's a stupid thing to say. But what I was going to say is I think it's interesting because there's very clearly a community of people who play the 2K games that aren't even wrestling fans. They just like the create a character mode.
Yeah.
Like there's a very like clearly when you play it, like there's clearly a group of people that is like, yeah, I don't watch wrestling, but I like making Marvel characters in this game.
Right.
It's an interesting world.
Yeah.
Or even I just
And people
like the,
download them and play them too, and
Yeah.
that's also an interesting thing.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, you could put Woody in the game and then have him go up against Superman.
You know what? I did watch that.
Whatever.
What was that? There was a stream where it was like all characters from all kinds of things. It wasn't the most recent 2K game, but it was like I don't even remember. I do remember watching that at one point. I don't recall.
Oh,
But
this is a related one. Who's all excited about what's the Nickelodeon? What's the new Nickelodeon?
Oh
game?
yeah,
that game
Nickelodeon
looks
All-Star
like
Battle.
it slaps.
Yes.
Who do you want in the game?
I really want Danny Phantom in the game.
Danny Phantom.
I truly
should be
think
in the
Danny
game.
Phantom
if
is
he's
already in
good
the
in
game.
Is he?
Oh, then that's my main.
Great.
Then that's my main immediately. Danny Phantom was my main.
When were we talking about this? Were we talking about this?
We were
in
talking
Clifford?
about
think
it
they
during
did.
Big Brother.
Yeah,
Oh, I was trying
the
to
Smash
remember.
Brothers
Like,
clone that somehow is 10 times better than Smash Brothers.
It's gonna be better.
Could be better. Has rollback.
Yep. Has
So,
rollback netcode.
You got that
Yeah,
sweet rollback.
XJ9 has to be in the game.
Actually, yeah, Jenny.
We need
Oops.
Jenny. Yeah, My Life as a Teenage Robot. That's not even. Yeah, that's probably.
Yeah.
Oh, I never saw that.
Jenny, Jimmy Neutron,
Jimmy's got to be in it.
Carl. Carl has to be
Winslow?
there.
Carl Weezer.
Winslow.
Nick at Night isn't eligible.
No. My wife.
Someone said that they wanted George
All right.
Lopez in the game.
Rocco and Heifer.
Rocco.
Yeah, no, I'm excited for that game. I can't wait to hear more because it feels like a post made real and manifest.
When I was a kid, like a young kid,
When
the
I
highlight.
was a young boy.
Yes, the highlight of going on vacation for me, this is how my 5 or 6-year-old brain worked. The highlight of going on vacation was the fact that we would stay at a hotel and the hotel would have cable, and on cable meant I would get Nickelodeon and I could watch Nickelodeon shows.
That's my kid's favorite part of vacation is the hotel and watching TV that isn't streaming. Like there was one point where it was like they were like we put it on like Nickelodeon or something and it was like SpongeBob and it was like halfway done because we had gotten home late and they were like, "Daddy, can you start it over?" I was like, "No." We're live, pal.
We're live, pal.
We're live, pal.
Live.
You're gonna get 15 minutes of SpongeBob and you're gonna go to sleep, you little clown.
Yeah. Connor's only 3, so he really doesn't understand how it works yet. But he's
I learned English through SpongeBob, so
yeah.
It has a really
Oh, good.
Oh.
Yeah. It's kind of I really learned through watching TV and SpongeBob particularly.
It's the way to do it.
I just kept watching and I just kept talking. My brother went to a bilingual school, so we talked, and then I just started developing it all on my own with my friend, with like people from middle school to high school.
Well, you know what I always say? I'm by a lot of things, and lingual ain't one of them.
Jeez Louise.
All I can say is that I know we jumped topics here, but all I can say is that from from a person who's about to graduate college with a degree, a bachelor's degree in
we
computer science.
invalidated your college.
No.
And you really did. You really didn't actually, because
Okay.
I think coming up to like this is like 6 or 7 years now, I have learned how to edit videos, not effectively, but in the most funny way possible that generates views. I just realized that YouTube is like the most freest of things. You could basically learn anything off of YouTube and then cut the classes.
So what you're saying?
Sorry.
So what you're saying?
You know
is
what
you're
that was?
offering your expertise to make my highlight videos. Thank you. We'll be in touch.
Oh,
You know what that was before YouTube? It was called a library, and you
A
could learn
library.
literally anything. They still exist, and you can still learn literally anything at them.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
What do you mean, yeah,
Library
right?
still existing? No. It's called Google.
Do they?
Stupid.
It's
Why do
true.
I go to a building?
It's so true.
Well, I need to find out
I
where
will
this
send a
place is on
resume.
the map.
The answers to literally
Talk to Larry,
any question,
Flippy. I'm serious.
the answers to literally any question are answerable if you're sitting in a library with a smartphone. Like, there's nothing that can't be answered.
That's the true Library of Alexandria.
Yeah.
Well,
So,
Flippy,
like, why
Yeah,
would you
so-
pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to do anything other than play sports?
Honestly, that is true. No.
Well, we've given you
Oh,
guys
yeah,
the
so-
2.5 hours of content that you deserve. Flippy, thank you for joining us.
Yep.
It's
Gambit, thank you for
just-
joining us.
so much to learn
Just
about.
send a resume.
Make you want to scream and
Send your
shout.
Flippy, send your resume to Larry.
Larry.
Larry, handle this,
Dedicate-
Larry.
Dedicate. Okay, there he goes.
Now it's time for me to kiss the homie goodnight, consensually. Hold on, let me shrink you down because I heard you like giantesses,
Oh no.
and I'll vore you. We'll
Oh,
see
no.
we'll see if you like it. All right.
Well, I can't see it. I'm watching a fight.
Don't worry, you'll like it. Hold on, let me shrink you down a little bit more so you fit in my
Store it that way.
mouth. Gee, bye everybody.
Yeah.